as I said, that we are going to know more about Black History Month that is observed in US and other parts of the world in the month of February. The full February month, they are actually observing that day. And what will be the lesson objective of today's session? So this session will help us to inspire the students to learn and discover the cultural diversity and also acknowledge the lessons from the history. We are going to learn more about the history about that Black History Month, okay? So the English language program coordinator, Shaun Karmakar, is here, I think. He is joining with us. He has joined, I think, yeah. So moreover, we also know that the people who sacrifice their lives for removing the racism or the oppression against the Black people or Afro-American people in America. And we also we'll be able to know the freedom, actually how they got the freedom or liberty. And this will be able to apply the greater knowledge to have a better collaboration. So this knowledge that's about the Black History Month will help us to collaborate with each other and also try to compare, like we'll to see that how this sort of learning actually very much close to us as well. So before getting into that, I would love to show one picture. So to some of the students, if anyone knows any one of them, just one or two students can respond. Do you know any one of them? They're all
Yes, sir.
Black people. Okay. So one of them is Barack Obama. Another one, very famous.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King Jr. Thank you very much. They all contributed working or fighting against slavery or against the racism, against the oppression. They're the mouthpiece. That they try to establish the rights for the Blacks, okay? And still we see that not yet achieved. But you know that for this, it's all about 1926, as I believe that it was initiated by a historian, Carter J. Woodson, that they should observe some sort of days by which they can make people aware what is happening or what happened against the Black people. They can make a country aware that what was a contribution of that Black people for the nation of USA. And also they want to make sure that they are not less than the white people. So they wanted to stop the slavery, racism, and establish the equal rights for all. So this Black History Month is observed actually throughout the February, and maybe some of you may know why the February is selected. Is there anyone who can tell that? Why this month actually they are observing that?
Because it's after the Thanksgiving Day.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else would try? You don't have to be correct all the time, but you can try. Okay, it's basically
21st February.
Because of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass's birthday.
Okay, it's about, right, you are Al-Nafil, that it's all about the President Abraham Lincoln's birthday in February, as well as the Frederick Douglass. I think many of you know about Abraham Lincoln, but you don't know maybe about that Frederick Douglass, who actually, this is called one kind of abolitionist movement. It's kind of like stopping slavery. So they fought against the slavery, and it's the movement was approximate time was actually 1800 to 1910. In between the time there was a movement against that, and they tried to abolish the slavery from the society of USA. So both of them actually, Abraham Lincoln and the Fredericks, both of them's birthdays are in the same month of February. So the initiator of observing this day, this month, like Carter Judson, who proposed that we can mark the honor, mark a time to honor African Americans and raise awareness of Black history in this month. Okay, now I think I have shared these questions a little bit that already you know that who did what and what happened here in this month. And this question actually throughout the slides and discussion of throughout this class, our teachers from Chittagong and Dhaka will be more elaborating in these breakout rooms, as well as some activities will coming up next. Hope so you will enjoy the session today. And now I would love to invite our colleagues, respected colleagues from Chittagong, Iftikhar Bhai, to continue the first session. I'm stopping my slides here.
Okay. Hello everybody. Hopefully I'm visible. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to everybody. So we are hoping our guests to arrive very soon. Before that, I think our honorable colleague Sufyan Bhai has pointed out the nitty-gritty things of Black History Month. So this is a kind of introduction. I'm not going to detail out the Black History Month, but what are the takeouts? What are the takeaway from the Black History Month? I will try in my session to point out. So let me share my screen. Okay. Oh my goodness. So is it visible? No.
Yes, sir.
So session one, so it is seen session 1, 30 minutes. Sufyan Bhai, is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible. You are right in the right position, sir.
Okay. So we are going to start with the theme of Black History Month. We know the duration. We know a little bit of history from Sufyan Bhai's brief lecture on Black History Month. Yes, this celebration is connected with our special day as well, 21st February. Anyway, we will point out or focus on those things later on. Let us talk about this year's theme. Black History 2022 month's theme is, Black History Month's theme is Black Health and Wellness. Okay. Now, the question is, what is Black Health and Wellness? We know the theme. We will point out, yes, our Relo is joining us, okay?
Okay. Relo is here.
So we acknowledge the presence of our chief guest, the Relo Nabila Mausumi. We all welcome you here. So I am continuing. I'm Iftikharuddin from Chittagong LPC. So this is the theme of Black History Month, Black Health and Wellness. Can anybody tell me what is the benefit or what are the benefits of using a theme for a special occasion? Any student? Why a theme is necessary? What is the benefit of a theme? Anybody? So the theme is Black History Month's, this year's theme is Black Health and Wellness. This is the theme that has been declared. So what is the benefit of declaring a theme? Can anybody tell from the students? Okay. So most probably the question seems a little bit tough. Okay, let me clarify. So a theme gives us a kind of focus. There are so many things regarding the Black history we need to highlight, we need to prioritize. But this year, the priority is Black health and wellness. So in order to focus our concentration, generally a theme is being declared. And this year's theme is Black health and wellness. Let us try to understand what is Black health and wellness. Okay. So can you recognize these pictures? Who are these people? Can anybody tell?
They are nurse and doctors.
Okay, they are nurses. Do you find anything special about them? So in Bangladesh also there are in rural area there are nurses. They are called dhatris. Are you familiar with those? Dhatris for childbirth. They are helping.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are two words. One is doulas and midwives. Okay. They're the carers and midwives. So they take care of the mothers during childbirth. Okay. So these are called alternative practitioners. There are doctors we know. There are doctors we know. There are specialists we know. But these people are not specialists. Rather, they, from their experience, they help the rural people. And in our country as well, this is the practice. Dhatri we know of. And in English, it is called doulas and midwives. You could see from the picture as well. They do not have any experience. The experience they have gathered from observation and from practice and other things. So this week's Black History Month is celebrating these people, the alternative practitioners. So maybe the herbalist. So that means they who are dependent on herbal treatment, who are dependent on natural treatment as well. So different kinds of plants they are using. So this Black History Month is celebrating those people. Okay. Whenever there is a question of Black history, a person pops up to our mind, comes before our mind. Can anybody tell me who is that great leader? Black history, Black leader. Anybody can tell me? I think Sufyan Bhai, my colleague, has shown the picture of him as well.
Really?
Yes. So,
Martin Luther King Jr.
So is this his picture?
yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you find any revolutionary leader in our country like him? So can you name any revolutionary leader like him in our country?
Bangabandhu Sheikh
Sheikh Mujibur Rahman.
Okay. So sure. So he is just like the Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So the revolutionary leader. Okay. So okay. Now we're going to focus on Martin Luther King Jr. Okay. So before reading about him, we need to know these words because the biography of Martin Luther King Jr. So in the text, these words you may come across. Now, you have 3 minutes to find out. I think you have the online dictionary since you are enjoying Zoom classes. So can anybody browse the dictionary and find out the meaning of these words? Okay. So you can use the chat box to write down your meanings. Sufyan bhai, could you please enable the chat for the students? Okay. The first word is boycott. The second word is integration. Third word is protesters. Fourth word is civil rights. Fifth word is racist. And sixth word is unjust. And the last word is assassinate. Okay. Boycott, integration, protesters, civil rights, racist, assassinate, unjust. Okay. So please use the chat box. Okay. Okay. And our Muhib sir has requested to make your video on so that our guests could see you as well. So what is the instruction? The instruction is please use the chat box and use the online dictionary as well in order to find out the meaning of these words. You have 3 minutes for it. Okay. I've got one response. Jannatun Naum from Dhaka LPC. Boycott. Disallowance. Well done. Mehdi Hassan. Boycott, withdraw from commercial and social relations with a country, organization, or a person as a punishment or protest. Okay, well done, Mehdi. So anybody else? I have got 2 responses so far. You have more 2 minutes. Okay. Jerin Akhtar Taramoni, so she wrote disallowance. Okay, boycott means disallowance. Okay. So we have already, so that means some student already talked about boycott. Please try other words. Okay. I'm looking for other responses in the chat box. There are words like protesters, assassinate. Okay, Ruzi Akhtar, assassinate, murder, an important person in a surprise attack for political and religious reason. Well done, Ruzi. Okay. Muhammad Al-Nafiyur, unjust means unfair. Okay, well done, Nafiyur. Okay. And unjust means biased. Okay, not based on or behaving according to what is morally right or fair. Okay. Boycott means exclusion. Boycott means disallowance. Sulaiman, boycott, exclusion. We have enough of boycott. Okay. So other words, please try the other words. Okay. Civil right. Okay. Sadia Jahan, Ajrin, civil, the rights of citizens to political and social freedom and equality. Okay. Well done. Well done. Jatridhar, integration, the action or process of integrating. Okay. Orpita, unjust, not just. Bobby, boycott, again. Jerin Akhtar, unjust. Okay. Mehdi Hassan, assassinate, murder. Okay. What about any word left out? Races. Okay. Okay. Race means not horse race here. Tunazina, integration, the practice of uniting people from different races. That means maybe from Bangladesh, Bangladesh, Pakistan. So maybe from white, black, Afro-American. So these are the races in an attempt to give people equal rights, racial integration. Well done, Tunazina. Okay. Miraj Khalil, okay. So I think Nusrat Jahan Lamia, integration, the coordination of process. Okay, well done. So I hope vocabulary finding race is over. So boycott means ban. From your responses I could see. Integration means the process of uniting different people around the world of different races, different kinds. Protesters means race, a competition between runners. Oh, okay. Here race doesn't mean a competition here. Races means here the people. Okay. People of different kinds. Okay. And assassinate, the murder of an important person. Okay. Thank you for your quick and spontaneous response in the chat box. So more or less we know boycott means ban, integration or disallowance. Okay. Integration means uniting different kinds of people. Protester means who protest. Okay. Protest against any kind of injustice. Civil rights means rights of general people. Racist means different kinds of people. Maybe they could be white, Afro-American, Asian. So these are the races. Okay. Unjust means what is not just, injustice. Okay. Assassinate means the murders, the secret murder. Okay. We know the words. That means we are ready for reading the text. Okay. This is the text in front of you. This is the text in front of you. This is a kind of loud reading. Since I will take the opportunity to listen to your reading capacity as well, I would like to, okay, from Dhaka, Tunazina, can you read the first para for everybody to listen?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You are most welcome. Okay.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929. He became a Baptist minister. In 1956, because blacks had to sit in the back of buses, he led a 3,081-day boycott of refusal to use the busy system in Montgomery, Alabama. He was the leader of...
Stop. Tunazina. I think you are hurrying a little bit. Could you mind just slowing down a little bit? Okay. Can you please start all over again? Okay.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929. He became a Baptist minister. In 1956, because blacks had to sit in the back of buses,
So this is sit in the
back of buses. He led a 381-day boycott of the bus system in Montgomery, Alabama. He was the leader of many protests in the 1950s and 60s.
Okay, thank you, Tunazina. Thank you. Well done. Okay. So, Sriti, can you start reading the next sentence from here? Okay. Sriti, are you there? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you start reading from here?
The police often arrested King's followers or used
Your voice is not coming.
used dogs and fire hoses to oppose them. On August 28, 1963, King joined 2 million black and white protesters called Freedom Marchers at Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. support new laws for civil rights. There his speech moved the nation.
Okay, thank you. Next one is I better listen from Joy Devnath. Are you there? Joy Dev, are you there? Okay, so let me Tania Sultana Reshmi. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Martin Luther King Jr. used only peaceful methods to fight against injustice laws because he opposed violence. He said that it was important to change laws, but even more important to change minds and hearts. He helped blacks win their legal rights and make progress in the cause of integration. In schools, churches, and public places. King won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, but on April 4, 1968, he was assassinated in Tennessee. Now, on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Americans remember a great man and promise to work hard for civil rights. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tania. So I would like to give you more 3 minutes to look at the passage, and please let me know if you have any problem in understanding any word. Please read silently. You have 5 minutes to read it out and ask any words or any idea you don't understand. So there is an exercise coming on. Okay. Nusrat, could you mind just sharing the text in the chat box for the students? Nusrat, are you there? Nusrat Tahasin?
Yes, sir. The text is actually shared in their groups. WhatsApp.
Okay, yes. In the WhatsApp, I think you could share it here as well for Dhaka participants as well, okay? So you have 5 minutes. So please read out silently and let me know if you have any word which you do not understand. Please raise your hand if you have any difficulty. I am looking for questions. I hope there are some problems as well. Feel free to ask questions. Anybody? Any problem? Okay. Habibur Rahman. So what's your question?
Sir, fire hoses means?
Okay, fire hoses. Okay. So very good question. Fire hoses, that means the kind of, I think, in order to control the protesters. So there are some water guns and other things, so that the protesters retreat, go backwards. Okay. So they use fire hoses. Okay. So it doesn't mean that all the time, or empty gun was also used in order to make them retreat. Okay, fire hoses to oppose them. Okay, use dogs and other things. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Any other question? Thank you very much for coming up the question. Any other question? Any other question? I expect that these texts must have some questions. Okay. Can anybody tell what is Alabama? Is it a name of a person or a place?
It is the name of a city. Place.
It's okay. So can anybody tell how long was the boycott?
381 days.
381 days. Okay.
81.
Okay. And can anybody tell the blacks were allowed to sit at the front or not?
Not.
Okay. So they are not allowed. Okay.
Buses.
Okay. So who gave the speech, I Have a Dream?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many people were there in freedom marchers?
200,000 black protesters.
Okay. And so where it was? Where it was? The march?
At Lincoln.
Lincoln Memorial in Washington.
Okay. Okay. So Martin Luther King used what? A kind of very violent methods in order to speak against injustice. Very violent.
No, sir. Very peaceful method.
Okay.
Non-violent methods.
Okay. So and Martin Luther King got the Nobel Prize in which year?
1964.
4th April in 1964.
Okay. So you see how he died.
He was assassinated.
Okay.
He was assassinated.
So the assassinated means he was killed?
Murdered by
Murdered.
Followed by others.
He was murdered.
Okay. Now, so I think you could have a good understanding of the text. Thank you very much for the response. Now, please, can you see the next slide, true-false exercise? Please use the chat box. Use the chat box
Yes, sir.
and write down what a statement is true and what a statement is false. If false, just write down only true, false. Then I will ask the correct information if false. Okay. Use the chat box. Okay. I could find a lot of responses as well. Okay. So please, Tania Sultan Rishmi, so you have done it. Okay. So others are responding one by one. Okay. Try all of them together. It will give us better opportunity to see them. Okay. But anyway, please try. Nusrat Jahan, Lamia, Asif Hussain, Khubayb, Shafin Abdullah, Choynika Dotto, Sadia Akhtar, Sadia Jahan Ajurin, Hantam Nur Sharika. Okay. You have 1 minute to go. So because since all of you are well aware of this information, I am not giving much time. Okay. Zakia binte Mustaqim, Orpita, Omar Khan. Okay. Sumaya Akhtar. Good. Shafin Abdullah. Shafin Abdullah, are you there? Shafin Abdullah, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay. So can you please read out the first one?
Okay, sir, thank you. Martin Luther King Jr. was a leader in the struggle for civil rights and equality for the black people.
Okay. Is it true or false?
Sir, is it true? It is true.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Next one is Chonika Dotto. Could you please read the number 2?
Okay, sir. In 1956, he led a famous boycott of the school system because blacks could not become teachers. It is false.
So what is the correct information? Can you tell me?
Because they are in the last seat of buses.
Okay. So this is not about school system. So this is about bus system, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is not about a school system. It is about bus system. So because they are allowed only at the back of the bus, not at the front. Okay. Thank you, Chonika. Okay. Next one is next one. So there are so many responses. Habibur Rahman, number 3. Habibur Rahman. Habibur Rahman, number 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The police always supported the marches of his followers because King opposed violence.
Okay. So is it true or false?
It's false.
It's false. What is the correct information?
The police didn't supported them.
So didn't support the marches. Okay, well done. Next one is next one is Orpita, number 4.
There has a famous march for freedom and civil rights in Washington, D.C. in 1963. Sir, it's true.
It's true. It took place in 1963. Everybody agrees with it. Is it true?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Next one is Hantam Nur Sharika, number 5. Hantam Nur Sharika. Hantam Nur Sharika, are you there? Okay, most probably she has some network issue. Next one, Asif Hussain, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, could you read number 5?
Yes, sir. Sir, King did not believe in integration because he wanted the separation of the
Races, okay. So is it true or false?
Sir, false, sir.
It is false? Okay. So what did he believe?
Sir,
can you provide me the correct information? Who can Israt Jahan Faria, can you give the correct information? Faria or anybody else?
Sir, may I?
Please, Shafin Abdullah.
Okay. King believed in integration because he wanted the unity of the races.
Well done. He wanted the unity of the races. Okay. Next one is next one. Mehrunessa Tania, number 6.
Yes. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, but was assassinated in 1968. It's true, sir.
It's true. Okay. Thank you. So, so these are the important information regarding Martin Luther King Jr. Now, can you tell me? So, our revolutionary leader, okay, our father of the nation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So he has a famous saying. So the saying for which he became famous. Can anybody tell what was his quotable lines? Who can tell the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's quotable lines? Anybody?
Sir, can I try?
Yes, please, please, please,
Uh,
please. What
the,
is?
str-
Yes.
the struggle this time is the struggle for freedom. The struggle this time is the struggle of emancipation.
Okay. So in Bangla it is called Ebarer Shongram, Shadinota Shongram, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that means the quotable quotes. That means these speeches inspire us. Okay. And Martin Luther King Jr. also made some great quotable lines. Okay, uttered some quotable lines. Okay. Now there will be the breakout room activity. Breakout room activity. You will be divided into four groups. And there will be some. So can you see them? How many quotes are there? Can anybody tell? How many quotes are there? Five quotes. So the breakout room, in the breakout room, you need to discuss among yourself what these quotes mean and which one you like most and why. What quote your group liked?
In our group, we democratically choose number one quote. So the number one quote is, we must accept infinite disappointment but never lose infinite hope. It means that while doing something we may fail, but we should not lose faith, as if we try again and again harder, then we might achieve the thing and we can be successful. So we must accept infinite disappointment but never lose infinite hope.
So the
Hope is the light.
The bottom line is never give up. Okay, well done. Very well
Yes,
thought out. Well thought out response. Thank you, Shafin. Okay, so now it is turn of the
Thank you, sir.
room 2. So there are Afrin Sultana Eni Jatridhar, Maria Akhtar Mukta, Naima Sultana Ruzi Akhtar, Tania Sultana Rishmi, Tunazina Jakia Binte Mustaqim. Who is going to represent your group?
I'm going to represent my group, and
Can you please name yourself first?
I'm Tunajina from group number 2.
Okay.
And I'm going to present on behalf of my group.
Okay, so which quote you like most?
In our group, we discussed all the quotations, but we like to stick with the second one, because darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. We liked it most because light is a lack of light. Darkness is a lack of light. More darkness, it never can bring light. Like, it never can accomplish a peace. Like which is something only being light can accomplish. That when we like each other, love each other, and respect everyone, not by their strength, not by their properties, not by their skin colors, religions, we can be peace. There will be peace everywhere. Like quotation, Martin Luther King Jr. talked about the love and the equal rights, civil rights, and he always hated the inequalities. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. It is the main thing here. Even when we love our enemies, there will be always peace. And it is a strength for us. Thank you.
Tunazina, yeah, I think if you have been given time, you could talk more. So very nice response. Okay, now it is turn of room number 3. So who is going to talk from room number 3?
Sir, I am going to present my group. I'm from room number 3 and my name is Sadia Jahan Ashrim.
Okay, please.
Okay, so we have discussed the quotes and we decided to choose number 5. And the number 5 says, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. And we believe that our fate is already have been written, and fate have already planned some good things for our life ourselves. Even if we can't say it, even if we think no, we don't like the thing that is happening to us, but fate has plans for us, and we have to believe in fate. So we have to.
Okay, well done. So very good response, mashallah. So next one is room number 4. So who is going to represent room number 4?
Hello, sir.
Chainika?
Yes, I'm Chainika Dutta from group, room 4.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
we'll select two quotes that is darkness cannot drive out darkness.
so
Only
what is the
light
other
can.
one? What is the other
Hate,
one?
hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Okay.
If we choose it because we believe it, that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Darkness makes more darkness. And also, if we want to drive out hate, we need love. And if we want to drive out darkness, we need to burn the light.
Okay. Thank you, Chainika. Okay. Thank you for presenting well all the quotes. Okay. Hopefully we could materialize all the quotes that have been said by Martin Luther King Jr. That ends this session. Now I'm handing it over to Mariam. Mariam, this is your turn most probably, right?
Yeah, I think so. Thank you very much, Iftikhar Bhai. So I would love to request Miss Mariam to start her session, and hope so you'll be able to manage the time. So thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you watching my
Yes, ma'am.
screen?
It is visible.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
we can see.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it is called Underground Railway. Do you think it is a railway actually? Did you hear about it before? Underground Railway. What is Underground Railway? You know what is the railway, right? What is underground?
Which is
Built
under.
in under
Under the ground, right? Here, this code word actually being used, underground means some secret thing, right? They were escaping. These actually were the movement where under where the slaves used to escape. Okay, that's why they escaped secretly, and that's why they use this term as underground railway. Okay, can I have one participant, one student to read this out? You from
May I, ma'am?
May I, ma'am?
I would like.
Okay, Shafin, you can read this out. I'm
Yes,
watching
ma'am.
my screen.
Okay, ma'am. Underground Railway. The Underground Railroad was not an actual railroad. It was a secret network of people who helped African Americans escape slavery. From approximately 1810 to 1865, the freed slaves were led to freedom in Canada and the northern states where slavery was illegal. In order to keep the movement of slaves secret, those who helped used code words based on railroad terms.
Exactly. So that was a term actually, that was a code term that is used as underground railway. So here you saw that they were heading to northern states, Canada and the northern states, because there actually slavery was illegal, and they could like they will be no longer slave over here, and that's why their mission was to go over there so that they can just get rid of that slavery. Okay. So this that is a code, underground railroad. That was actually not a railroad. That is a code. That was a code. Okay. So let's watch a video, a short video.
Did you know that one of the most important railroads in American history had no tracks and no trains have ever traveled on it? The Underground Railroad was, in fact, a secretive network of people and places that helped tens of thousands of enslaved people escape to freedom. In the 17 and 1800s, enslaved people in North America were subjected to a life of extreme hardship. Forced to work around the clock for no pay, they subsisted on meager rations, lived in squalid conditions, and many were physically and mentally abused by their merciless slave owners. Escape, or assisting escape, was a crime. If caught, fugitives were severely punished, returned to their enslavers, or even killed. Slavery was particularly entrenched in the rural South, so the promise of freedom lay in the North, where many state governments had chosen to abolish slavery. And by the early 1800s, an escape route known as the Underground Railroad had been established, a sprawling network of secret routes, pathways, and safe houses that helped enslaved people cross into the North to be free. But the railroad was fraught with danger. The possibility of capture and death lay around almost every corner. Those traveling on the railroad were led by brave guides known as conductors, ordinary people who did extraordinary things, like Harriet Tubman, dubbed the Moses of her people, who had successfully fled the plantations herself, and white abolitionist Levi Coffin, who once masterminded a fake funeral procession with enslaved people disguised as mourners. It's thought that up to 100,000 enslaved people were emancipated by traveling this extraordinary network, making the Underground Railroad.
Sorry for interrupting. Is it visible, the video? Are you watching?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is.
One of the most audacious and successful anti-slavery campaigns in U.S. history. What should you do when you think a law is immoral or unethical?
So that was the short video we have just watched. So I need another students to read this out. If it is from Chittagong, if the students from Chittagong, I will be
May I,
happy.
ma'am?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Escaping to the north was not easy. First, a slave had to escape from the slaveholder. Sometimes a conductor would pose as a slave, enter a plantation, and then at right guide the runways north. They would travel 10 to 20 miles to the next station, where they would rest and eat, hiding in barns and other out-of-the-way places. While they rested there, a message would be sent to the next station to alert its station master. Things got really difficult for the Underground Railroad in 1850 when the Fugitive Slave Act was passed. This law forced runaway slaves, even those caught in the northern states, to be returned to their owners. To be completely safe, slaves had to travel all the way to Canada. Thank you, ma'am.
So as you can see, escaping was not that easy. Okay, they had to face a lot of problem and difficulties, and if they are also in 1850 they have passed an act that those who like the flee their way, those who slave those flee away, if they get caught, then they will be punished. Okay, they will be returned to the owners and they will be punished, even they can be dead. Okay, so see, there are some code words like railroad. They use some code words over here as well. See, in order to keep the movement of slaves a secret, those who helped use code words based on railroad terms. So they have used these code words so that people will not understand that what they are actually doing. People are escaping over here. Okay, so can I have one person to read this out? The first one, conductor.
May I, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Okay. Conductors were people who helped slaves by guiding them on their long journey. One of the most famous conductors was Harry Tubman.
Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman. If we have time, we will show her picture, what actually her contribution for this railroad. So they used to be conductors. Conductors actually conduct the whole process of this underground railway. So these people helped the slaves by guiding them on their long journey. Okay, it was a long journey to heading towards north. Sometimes they used to use rail, sometimes they used to use boats. Okay, they used to use buses. So it's a long journey for them, and these conductors actually help them to escape. Okay, So one of the most famous conductors was Harriet Tubman. If we have time, we will show her picture. What her contribution was huge on this movement on Underground Railway. Can I have another student to read this out? Second one.
May I, ma'am?
Yes.
May I, ma'am?
Mehdi, you wanted to read, right?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, station were safe houses for the escaped slaves.
Okay, stations were safe houses for the escaped slaves. So they used to term the safe houses as stations. Okay, maybe you can read the next one as well.
Okay. Station master were the people who ran the safe houses and provided meals and shelter.
Okay, did you find out that these things actually, all these code words actually used in railway stations, right? Stations, station master, terminal, right? So
Passenger.
yes, so these actually, because they termed these as a railway, underground railway, that's why they have termed these different duties into the railway terms. Okay, so next one is terminal, right, where the cities and towns where the safe houses were located. So where the cities and like safe house, where the cities and the house and the cities and the towns, these safe houses were located, they termed as terminals. Okay, can I have one student from Chittagong
May I?
finish this out? Yes,
Can
please.
I, ma'am?
One person, please start reading.
Passengers were the men, women, and children escaping slavery.
Slavery. Okay, then lines.
Lines were the routes that brought the people to the north.
Okay, then
Uh,
heaven.
Heaven was the code word for freedom.
Okay, and then last
Freedom
one.
Freedom Train was a code name for the Underground Railroad.
Did you understand, all of you? These actually code words used to use as a term of like railway, so that people will not understand. Okay, so this is the thing now. Next activity, you will find these things into your into one slide or one file I will be giving you into your chat section. Okay, you will be doing it into your breakout room for this because we don't have much time. We are not reading this now. You will be reading it in your breakout room. Okay, so now breakout room activities in group number 1, you will be answering these 3 questions. See, what was the code name for the Underground Railroad? What do the station master do, and for about how long did the Underground Railroad operate? So those people who will be in group 1, they will be finding this question from that file. Okay, now can anybody share the file into chat section, or I will share? Okay, don't worry, I will share the file in the chat section. And group 2 will be solving this question answer. So teachers will be there. They will be showing you which question you have to solve according to the group. Okay, so basically what you have to do in breakout room: step 1, you have to go to the assigned breakout room. Step 2, choose one leader and discuss among yourself about the question answer. Okay, so you have to choose one leader, and then you all have to discuss among yourself the question answer. Teachers will be there to help you out, and you will get 8 minutes to discuss. I think you don't need more, like more than 5 minutes. And step 3, come back to the main session after I will give you 5 minutes over here, and leader of each group will write their answers in the Jamboard. The Jamboard link I will be sharing into the chat section. You will get it. But if you cannot write in the Jamboard, then you will tell orally your answers. Okay, so let's start the breakout room session. Who will be leading and telling the answer?
Ma'am Tulachina, I'm from group number 2.
Okay.
Discuss the 2 questions. The first question was about the Fugitive Slaves Act. What does that mean? And in the second about when they were caught in the northern states, what happened to them, what struggles they faced. So the first one, escaping to the north was not easy. The slave, when they were escaping, they had no food. They were traveling for miles, and they were hiding from the owners of their owners. They had to be very alert, and when if someone get caught, they were tortured very much. They had struggled enough, very much. They have struggled, and after that, they had they faced the light, and they uh, faced the freedom. Thank you. That was the first one. And the second question is about who helped them to pay the travels related expenses of the slaves. And we think that the Canadians and also the northern tried to hurt to get the donations. They formed groups and get donations from um, uh, other countries and thank you.
Thank you very much, Tunajina.
I believe when people hear the color side of the story, injustice anywhere is an insult to justice everywhere. They chant and throw objects, but I am not giving up. Sorry. I feel like I could walk all night for freedom, cops wail and block the roads, and other people to go back. Groups of Caucasians chant in our faces and hold up signs, but all I can say is keep walking.
Thank you, Nafil. Thank you so much. Yes, keep walking. So may I have anyone who can tell me what is the meaning of keep walking? What do you understand by this word?
On with their life.
Walking on foot?
No, ma'am.
Hmm?
Never
Never
give
give
up.
up.
Walking in life means every
Never
day,
give up.
never give up,
Never give
always
up.
try to.
And try
Okay,
hard to
that's
achieve goals.
great. Never give up. Keep trying. Keep trying. Okay. So let's have some more activity. Can you please stop the sharing? Okay. So see what is there. So far you have
So,
gathered, you have got lot of information. Yes, yes, sir.
better we cut short our session. Try to finish in 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, sir. This is the last activity actually. Okay. So see what have you learned? Okay. So you have a Padlet link in your chat box like speech, importance of speech. Do you feel is it important to freedom of speech? Like importance, write your feedback and vote. Give 3 reasons. Civil right. Give importance of civil rights. Okay. Give 2 examples. Here is your link in chat box. Just click on that. Just click on that and you will find some feedback here. See, Black History Month discussion on whole session. What have you learned? Freedom of speech, importance. There is a sign plus. Just press there and put your feedback. Have you got the link?
Yes, ma'am, got it.
Everyone, please put your feedback here. What have you learned? Freedom of speech, My dear students, since we have running out of time, so we will chat this activity later. So this is the end of our lesson, okay?
Thank you very much for a very illuminating class. I've learned a lot from this. But there's one question that comes to my mind is about the observing of Black History Month. I would like to know how it is useful to us. The fact that this event is observed in some countries, like as somebody said about Canada, UK, it shows that this event, issue of Black history, it goes beyond the United States, covers other countries as well. It is kind of a global issue. So why Black history? Because I feel, or I think, or what I learned from these people is that it is important to understand the current issues facing the US in particular and the world at large. Having said this, I would like to introduce to you our beloved Nabila Mosemi. If she's there, I would like to say a few words.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste to all of you, all teachers and students. Thank you so much for inviting me to this interactive and very interesting session today. I learned so much by listening to you, and I really am impressed by your dedication and your hard work and the level of your English proficiency. Students, kudos to you. Excellent job. I just wanted to echo what Javed Haider Karim was mentioning regarding really the civil rights movement and the impact not just in the US, but also in the world. I'm going to say a quote that you all just studied, and I want you to finish it. So I'll say the first part, and I want you to unmute, students, and say the second part. Injustice anywhere is?
Justice everywhere.
Insult to justice everywhere.
That is correct. And so this Black Lives Matters movement and the civil rights movement in the US has had an effect on the rest of the world. And unfortunately, you know, there are racism exists and there is injustice everywhere. And so we have to do our part. Students, I want to encourage you to think about ways that you are an upstander, you are a leader, and you speak out against injustice. So every time you see someone who's being discriminated against or being made fun of because of their race or their religion or their creed or their caste, and you say something and you are being a leader and upstander, you are making that dream come true, that an injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So you want to make sure that there's justice everywhere. And every time you're an upstander, you are doing your part. And I think it's wonderful that you're learning about Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman. There's a great movie that came out in 2019 called Harriet. Movies are a great way for you to brush up on your English, but also learn about some of these important historical figures, such as Harriet Tubman. The movie is called Harriet, and you may be able to find it on YouTube. I highly recommend it. So continue to learn about not just Martin Luther King, but also activists such as John Lewis and currently Stacey Abrams, and not just about American activists, but also I was so happy to see the parallels between activists in your own communities people who fight for justice, who speak out against injustice. Because our goal for you in this program is not just to learn English, but also to become strong leaders in your community. So I'll keep it short. Thanks again so much for inviting me. I hope to see you again. I hope to, even if virtually, I hope actually to see you in person. That would be even better. But until then, I would love to be invited to more sessions. Teachers, thank you so much. I know it's not easy to teach virtually. You have to be so patient, and students always, there's always connectivity issues, etc. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your resilience. I hope that I get invited to more sessions. This time I was a little shy and just kind of standing back to listen to the conversation. But I do promise that next time I will be more, I'll engage with you a little bit more. So thank you so much for this wonderful program and for celebrating Black History Month with us. Please stay in touch, and I hope to see you in class next time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
You are most welcome.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
your
so much,
kind
ma'am.
words. All the words are very
Thank you,
inspiring.
ma'am.
And see our students' reaction. They are very happy to have you. Thank you for making your time to join here. Okay, students, we are about to close the program, but before we close, I also want to hear from our Shaun Bhai, very favorite Shaun Bhai. Shaun Bhai, would you like to add anything before we close the program?
Thank you, Hassan Bhai. Thanks to all the students, all the teachers, and thanks for inviting us. And it's always a pleasure to meet you virtually. And I just want to say that, last month I joined a session with you for Martin Luther King, celebrating his birthday. And, whenever I join these sessions, not only I enjoy the session, I enjoy, seeing you speaking English, and I learn from you so I learned so many things about the journey of Martin Luther King Jr. when I attended the session last month. Even today, I learned a lot about the Black History Month from you. And that is the pleasure of, joining this kind of sessions. So students, I just want to say that, it's a pity that, we started in-person classes, and because of COVID, maybe COVID had some different plans. So we have to, we had to go back to virtual classes again. But I would like to, say a huge thanks to you for being adaptive, for listening to our instructions and going back to virtual classes. And I would, just request you to be patient and join the virtual classes, be supportive to your teachers. And fingers crossed, if COVID situation allows, we will be back to in-person classes very soon again. And I want to keep it very short. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for having us. And special thanks to all the teachers. Over to you, Hassan Bhai.
Thank you, Shaun Bhai. I want to hand over it to Javed sir to give the closing remarks and to close the program. Javed sir.
Observers today, but in the next session, we would like them to do some co-teaching, use their experience. So, I know Shaun is a good teacher, and we'll also have been about it. So we would be very, very grateful if they could come and take some classes.
Okay, thank you. So Javed sir, let's close the program.